tayo nag-hope na bibigyan tayo ng Panginoon, ikanta natin, bigyan mo kami ng aming kakanin. Ginagawa lahat ng politika yan, sila nang nagbibigay ng aming kakanin, kaya hindi na tayo lumalaki. So I suppose, when you start thinking about all these things, we made Subic the hub and spoke dapat. That was my dream. In other words, there are three things that I always demand from our people. You have to have vision, you have to have values, you have to have voluntarism to succeed. Whether it's the Red Cross, whether it's tourism, whether it's being Mayor of Olonco, whether it's being Chairman of Subic Bay, or even in the Senate, you have to have vision. And the vision comes by way of something that your people will not see, which is definitely better than what is today. So before the Americans even left there, I saw Sandy Point, sayang yan. I saw the geographies. Kailangan natin gamitin yan. And so we did that. And so when we had the volunteers, motivating them with slogans such as aim high along the pole, mag-ambisyon tayo, and proving that we can do that by taming along the pole. And Mr. Huang talked about that earlier. The jeepneys are color-coded. You go to the market, you can eat in the market. You won't have to worry about somebody slashing your bag or everything. Those are the values that we inculcated. Aim high, mag-ambisyon kayo, pero bawal ang tamad. You have to have the work ethic. Lalong bawal ang tanga. So long ago, you have to study and be educated. And we did all that. Duty, dignity, determination. First for the common good. And the common good is a vision that when the Americans leave, we can make this a free port. What is a free port? Nobody knew at that time. Only very few of us knew about that. The free port is simply the U.S. military being turned into a commercial operation where we bring in ships and we make that the transshipment point of the country, and imitating China, Hong Kong, and Singapore, which took ships out there in a free port. They were able to distribute from the big motherships that would go in there, unload cargo, and distribute it to all the rest of the countries in Asia. But because the ships were going there, they became a financial center. Lawyers went there, accountants went there, doctors went there, everybody went there because now it spurred industry. That's why after Hong Kong, there was Kowloon. After Kowloon, there was the new territories. After the new territories, there was Shenzhen. After Shenzhen, there was Guangzhou, and so forth and so on. Supply management. That's what we wanted for Subic Bay. We got FedEx. We were the hub of FedEx for the whole world. And we had to build a runway. We built the runway that was built for fighter jets and now being used by, going to be used by 747s and big empty aircraft for cargo. So we had to put one foot in concrete. We built it out. We purchased. We helped the World Bank. We learned how to do it. And then what happened? We made the airport in 28 weeks. And before the ink was even wet, FedEx was doing it. We wanted it to be the hub of shipping. At that time, 10 million containers were coming out of Hong Kong, 10 million containers were coming out of Singapore. We had 2 million containers in our country. I wanted to get at least 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. So we wheeled it up para magkaroon ng supply chain management. Well, nanalo yung HIT, pero 2 beses pinigilan ng Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Okay. Siyempre, may aggressive tayong negosyante dito, pero okay lang yan. That's the way it is. I think that's a mistake though, because we would have had the air and sea hub. Today, nawala yan. Nawala na yung Subic yan. Even the airport. That guy out there, I'm very disappointed. He says, well, we have to close the airport because there is no business. Well, there was no business when I took over. It was an old runway. The Americans had just been tossed out. Pinatubo was nearby, but we got FedEx. And we got all the aircraft starting with Hong Kong, Malaysia. They were flying to Subic. And then when President Macapagal came in, he moved all our aircraft to Clark. Not to forget the fact that UPS went to Clark. They wanted to go to Subic as well. I said, you only have one room. Go to Subic, go to Clark. And then DHL, Larry Hilbrook came over, met him. And I said, go to Manila. Why? Look at it. You're all supply people. 3 airports. Subic, Clark, Manila. 3 seaports. Subic, Maribeles, Bataan, and Manila. All within 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours away from one another. Plenty of land. You've driven to SFX. That's part of my vision. We built a tunnel initially going right to the port of Subic Bay. Remember the tunnel of people? We even bypassed my own city, sacrificing the vision of my city so that the whole can go. And then I said, you have to build that road into Subic and Clark, within Clark and Manila, because there's plenty of land in between. Well, dito, pagkatapos na, this was built by Congressman or Senator Buaya, etc., etc. Yun ang nakikita niya ng MPAL. But the real thing that must be done is decongest Manila, disperse industries, put the factories in between Subic and Clark, inside Clark and Pangasinan, because now you could invite airports and the seaport. With that airport, seaport, you can invite business. Can you see it in your mind? Can you see that highway, high-speed highway, moving all these people here? Do you know how many people you have in Metro Manila in terms of per kilometer? You have 80,600 people per square kilometer here in Metro Manila. In Central Luzon, you only have 450 people per square kilometer. That's why your traffic is bad. That means expensive gasoline. That means unhealthy conditions for our people. That means stress, because you have to come in on time, wake up on time, and come in late because of the traffic. That means we don't compete in cargo business. We're delayed at the airport. We're delayed at the seaport. And your airport here is overloaded. I'm sure you've flown Cebu, you fly from Cebu, they'll make you wait for about 45 minutes circling around Metro Manila before they make you land because cargado. And yet, the airport has been built and yet kalahati hindi pa ginagawa. So you're trying to tell me there is change in this country? There's not going to be any change. We are in crisis, not because we're nahihirapan tayo. Yes, nahihirapan tayo, but we are not. The real crisis and the real lack here is the fact that yung magdudadaan, walang pupuntahan, ang dapat natin tanongin, saan tayo pupunta because you could do it. You can actually decongest Manila, put export processing zones within Manila and Clark right away, subdivide that, create the housing, and can you imagine all that infrastructure that will be built that will create jobs, and can you imagine people who will move their factories here, their employees will simply just bicycle to work. And if there are airports and seaports operating out there, you'll have a financial center just like Hong Kong. Very easy. We do the same thing in the Red Cross. In the Red Cross, kalaban natin yung tinong kung anong kalaban natin. Kailangan may vision kayo. Better to know where you're going and not know how, than to know how you're going and not know where. Anong kalaban natin dito? We are #1 in terms of disasters. 22 typhoons a year. You know that. You're going to get hit by 22 typhoons. You have earthquakes. You have the biggest sea disasters in this country, bigger than the Titanic. You have the Doña Paz lost about 5,000 to 6,000 people. You have internal conflict. You have tsunamis. You have floods every year. Can you imagine that 3 hours of rain? Baha na tayo? Cancel na ang classes? How much of a drain is that sa ating economy? And yet we just accept it. Talagang ganyan, wala tayong magagawa. You can put 3 Singapores inside Laguna de Bay. Inside Laguna de Bay, tatlong Singapore. Singapore beats us. They're a first world nation in Southeast Asia. Their per capita income is many, many times more than our country. Sabihin naman, kasi maliit. No, maliit can do big things. Can you imagine what this country can do? You know, you're debating, I was debating on the table. My speech came from the table. We're talking about our age. And we're talking about our age. No, neither pro or con. Why? 12 na anak mo eh. Bibigil ka mag-anak. Wala lang effect yan. Ang kailangan mo, paaralin mo yung mga anak mo. Bigyan mo ng magusin ng edukasyon, bigyan mo ng pagkain, bigyan mo ng trabaho, para magaling. And tatawin, binoboto nyo yung mga, tapos binoboto tayo, kunyari nagdi-debate. You demand, you have a right to demand that you in government create work, that you in government create an opportunity. That means that you will have peace and order na hindi ma-hold up ang tao, hindi babalinan ng motorsiklo, hindi hold up yung bag, hindi ka papasukin sa loob mo sa Santa Mesa na napakalaki sa Malacanang, katabi pa ng mga pulis, papasukin ka, itatali ka yung isang manager ng PLDT at nanakawan niyo mo kami. That's not happening. So, I suppose, we are in crisis and there is no risk-taking. Kayo mga Pilipino, sanay kayo, gusto ko ipunta, magaling yan eh. Pero hindi mananalo, walang pera eh. Yun ang problema. Bakit? May pusta ba kayo? Tumasama kayo doon sa mga nanalo presidente. Nagbago na ba ang bayan nyo? Nagbago na? Nanalo ba kayo doon sa lahat ng presidente na nakaraan? Nagbago na ba kayo sa lahat ng mga senador na binoto nyo? You can ask me questions and I'll answer you the question. And I'll give you an honest answer. But you have the right to ask your candidate. Anong gagawin mo? Paano mo nagawa? Anong track record mo? Hindi yung anak ka lang ni ganito, pamangkin ka ni ganito, asawa ka ni ganito, kapatid ka ni ganito. Nangyayari yan. But it's okay. If they can answer the question, that they have integrity, they have a track record, they have a vision, they know how to implement it. We don't ask questions. We are in crisis because we're apathetic. When I was in Ateneo, third year college, I was class president of my life in Ateneo. I said, hey, tayo are in crisis. I said, we are complacent. We're apathetic. Yung classmates ko, tiga Ateneo, kala nyo ba magagaling? Ano yung complacent? Ano yung apathetic? Wala tayong pakialam. Wala tayong pakialam. Si Lori, hindi lang nalaman yung complacent. Anyway, the next story. We don't care. Because we live under the laws of Rizal and De La Costa, but we don't really understand them. Point is, you gotta be involved when you're in there. You're in supply management, you want to make sure an atmosphere where you can buy, where you have open bidding, where it's transparent. I'll give you 5 F's. I don't have to literally this long speech kung gusto nyo ng supply management. 5 F's. Focus, fast, friendly, flexible, forward-looking. Isipin nyo, kayo mga experts. Focus? Are you focused? Fast? Mabilis ba kayo? Are you friendly? Ang mundo ngayon, just on time, all the time. You must be fast, you must be friendly. Madali ba kayo lapitan o nalalagyan kayo? O may kasyunduan pa lang? Are you flexible enough? Are you able to penetrate the climate conditions of the country na, naku, biglang baha, nag-declare na, everybody go home, pati private sector pinawit. Nakakalimutan yung business processing. Aalis yung business processing, hindi ka pwede mag-declare ng halaga sa business processing because 24 hours siya, nabubuhan ng orders. That is the best example of incompetence kung magkabisan din sa atin. And are you forward-looking enough? So sa akin, our country is in crisis, starts with us. You keep pointing, you keep fixing the blame, all of us, 3 fingers are pointing back. We know how to fix the blame, but we don't know how to fix the problem. And you don't know how to reform yourselves. We have to reform ourselves. Reinvent ourselves. There are no walls. Parang kita nyo si Lot Gonzales, tinanggal nila nung magkaroon na luneta. Is that the solution? Di ba dapat ang paliwanag, local government? Sila may hawak ng police. In fact, tinitira pa si Roberto noon. Tinitira si Rico Puno. Brad ko ba yun? Tinitira si Mayor Lim. Yun ang mga responsible. Yung mga police. Abay, ang sinisi yung nag-convict itong kay Mendoza. Tapos, ang sabi ng Mendoza, tagal-tagal nag-a-appeal ako Aba, siya tinanggal. Ngayon, binalik, nanalo doon sa Supreme Court, na in-appoint pa yung Chief Justice, ayaw pa pabalikin ng presidente natin. Teka muna, kaya galit sa atin ng China, dyan nagsimula. They did not help out. They did not fix the problem. And so what happened? When I was there in China at the time, in Hong Kong, nakakagulo nito sabi ko, this is what the record is doing. We got all the hostages, we put them in the hospital, we give them psychological stress debriefing. Pag uwi ko, binigyan pa ako ng $110,000 ng Hong Kong to build more houses. Meaning to say, you have to show how you're solving the problem when you're in a foreign situation. But the point is, kawawa naman yung sila. Sinira na yung kanyang pamilya. Tapos nanalo na siya, ayaw pa siya pabalikin. Pero yung talaga may kasalanan. Bakit kung hinila yung kapatid dyan? Ba't pinakita nyo sa TV yung nangyayari? Bakit yung pinabayaan na naka-uniforme, na nakapaong, na naka-camouflage, na pulis na dalalang MCC in the middle of our cultural heritage sites called Intramuros, nakasakay sa tourism bus? Walang accountability ang ating bayan. So today, ang sinasabi ko sa atin, you don't need me here. Just do reflective thinking. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am.